Hi, my name is Mario Fox, COO of Rhodes Realty. Here at Rhodes Realty, we want to ensure that our agents understand the basics. So these next series of videos are going to show you how to fill out some of the most important documents of any real estate transaction.
Hi, I'm Connie Corey, and I'm a team leader at Rhodes Realty. Today I'm going to show you how to fill out the buy-sell agreement. Let's get started. The first thing you're going to do, on the first line, you're going to type in the listing firm's name. On the second line, you'll type in the listing agent's name. And on the third line, you'll type in the listing agent's license number. On the third line, you're going to type in the brokerage name and the broker's license number. On the fourth line, you're going to type in the agent's phone number and then the office phone number and the office fax. On the fifth line, you'll type in the agent's email address. And then you'll go up to the selling firm. And up here, you'll type the selling firm's name. Now the selling agent's name and license number. On the third line, you'll type in the broker's name and the broker's license number. On the fourth line will be the agent's phone number, their office number, and their fax number. And on the fifth line, you'll type in their email address. Now, if you're representing the buyer and the seller, you've listed the property and you're also selling the property, you'll check dual agent. On line 3, you're going to fill in the date. And then on line 6, you're going to put the physical address, like 123 Rapids Drive. On line 7, you'll put in the city's name, the zip code, the parish. On line 8, you're going to type in the legal description. You'll have to click Edit Text, and you'll type in right here. Then press Save, and it'll fill it in. Then you go down to line 20. For the information to put on lines 20 through 22, you'll find on the last page of the listing agreement. These are items that remain with the property but don't have any actual value. Next you'll go to lines 27 and 28. You'll find the information to put on these lines on the last page of the listing agreement. These are items that are excluded from the sale. On page 2, you'll type in the property address at the top of the page. And then the date. Line 30, you're going to type in the mineral rights. Whether the seller is retaining any of the mineral rights, you put the percentage here of how much they are retaining. Line 34 and 35, you'll put the actual dollar amount of the offer. On line 38, you're going to type in the closing date. If the purchase of the new property is contingent upon the client selling their current property, you'll check this box. If it's not, you'll check this box. Line 53, if it's an all-cash sale, you're going to check this box. If it's a finance sale and not a cash sale, you'll check this box. Then on line 57, you'll type in the sum of the loan, or the percentage of the loan that the client is trying to acquire at the bank. And the interest rate is filled in on line 58. Then on line 59, you'll type in how many years the loan is for. Line 62 through 65, you'll check all the boxes that apply, whether it's a fixed rate mortgage, adjustable rate, rural development. You check all the boxes that apply to this loan. So we're going to check conventional loan, fixed rate mortgage. Then on line 68, you'll put discount points. Line 69 and 70, you'll type in other conditions of loan, such as seller to pay X amount of dollars in closing cost. Okay, on the next page, you'll type in the property address again and the date, if it does an auto field. Then line 79, this is how many days that the client has to make formal application at the bank. Usually here you'll put 3 to 5 days. Then line 97, you're going to check one of these boxes whether the sale is contingent upon appraisal or not. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to say it is. Then on line 101, you're going to put 3 here. And line 102, you're going to put 3 here. And this is saying that if the property does not appraise, that they have 3 days to decide whether they want to purchase the property or come down on the price. Okay. Line 110, you're going to type in the deposit, and this is if the buyer is going to give you a deposit. You're not required to take a deposit, but if you do take a deposit, you need to fill in this section and check all that apply, how you're receiving it and who's holding it. In this box here, this only needs to be signed if by the buyer and seller is if a third party is going to be holding the deposit if you take one. And the third party would be like a title company or a closing agent that's holding the deposit. Then on the next page, you're going to fill in the property address and the date. And line 158 and 159, whether it's a new home or an existing home, you're going to check if it has a new home construction addendum, you're going to check here. If it's an existing home, then you check here. On the next page, you're going to put property address again and the date. And then on line 167, you're going to put an inspection period time. And here you're usually going to put 7 to 10 days. On line 203 and 207, if there's a septic system, or a well, you're going to check these boxes and how many there are. If it's inside the city limits, then it's probably on city sewer, so you won't be checking these. You'll check the last box. Okay, on line 213, you're going to check here whether the seller is going to pay for a home warranty or the buyer, and how much that home warranty is going to cost. So if they're asking for a home warranty plan, you'll check one of these boxes. And if they are, then you'll put the amount that the home warranty is going to cost and who's paying for it, the buyer or seller. And on line 215, you type what company is going to be ordering it, whether it's going to be us or the other agent. Then on the next page, you'll type in the property address again and the date. And then line 224 and 227 and 234. This is whether the house has an as-is on it or not. And normally you're going to be checking that the sale is as-is. Okay, on line 244, you'll put 15 here. And this line is if there's any problems with the title, that you're giving the closing agent 15 days to clear up the title. Then on the next page, you'll do the property address and the date again. And right here on lines 302 through 307, you can type any additional terms, such as the seller is to provide a termite certificate and health certificate, or seller is to pay prorated taxes, buyer to pay prorated taxes, or if there's a contingency as far as contingent upon the buyer selling his house to purchase his house. You'll fill in this if there's any specifics about the contingency. Then on the next page, you'll put in the property address again and the date. And then lines 329 through 332, you're going to check all that apply. If it had a septic system, which on here we said it didn't, you would check this. If it's third parties holding the deposit, you'll check that. If you have an as-is or any kind of addendum, an as-is, a WDIR, you'll check these boxes and add as-is addendum, WDIR addendum. Then on the next page, you're going to type in the property address and put in the date again. And line 361 and 366, this is if the buyer has authorized you to receive any kind of documents through email. You're going to check that, yes, and you're going to type in your email address. And then on 366, you'll type if the seller has authorized for their agent to receive stuff through their email, then they'll have their email address here. On line 382, this is how long you're going to give the seller to respond to your offer. Usually it's anywhere from 24 hours to 48 hours. We'll say on the 3rd, and you just put noon, whatever time here. Right here, you'll put in your buyer's signatures and print their full name. And this is the time that it was sent to the other agent. It goes on this line. And that's how you fill out your buy-sell agreement. Next, you'll save it and share it. And what you'll do is you'll share it with your buyers for their signatures via .loop. Once again, I'm Connie Corey with Rhodes Realty. Thank you for joining me for this tutorial today on the buy-sell agreement.